Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Thursday, January 22nd, 2026, and this show begins now. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. You will notice there are products tagged in this video that help you support the Natter, like a Lego Star Wars Mandalorian and Grogu speeder bike. Legos are great. A Connor McDavid alternate jersey from Fanatics. A Nintendo Switch 2, which is still hot on the market. A Dell Plus 2-in-1 touchscreen laptop, and of course, a Blow Pop 80stees.com shirt. You can check it out for the record. Utica Yeti says huge pickup for the Firewolves. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, people at Blue Squatch, etc. On today's awesome show, I'm going to start off today's show by talking about the legacies on the line for this season. Now, I will explain why the segment comes up. I've got about 12 players, I have to admit, that I think we're going to have some fun with. Might be one of the best segments of the year that I do. Stay tuned for that one. It comes bright and early. After that, we will talk about the Dawson Theede trade and why the Thunderbirds added Stephen Keogh for some reason. Also what it means for Oshawa, and if they're contenders. I had a segment yesterday, and then the news broke. I'm feeling good. And finally, we're going to create the narrative for week number 9. Just 4 games. That's fine with me. In honor, though, before we get things started, we'll do the honoring part in a minute. That sounds weird. We want to remind you, there is NLL merch available, officially licensed at netalkradio.us/NLL. They have hoodies, player name shirts, t-shirts with team logos on it. It appears there's more stuff coming, but you will want to be the first to get it at netalkradio.us/NLL. We appreciate you. God, that's funny. All right, so we want to first let you know Tim Dillon will not be on the show today. I feel like there should be like a sad version of the Tim Dillon music, man. Like what? it's bad. He is moving colleges, if you will, but shout out to him. All right, so let's get into it now. What about player legacies? Like legacies on the line, man. Because like I've got like I think it's 12 players. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 12 players. All right, so let's talk about them, folks. And these are like in no particular order. They're not even in alphabetical order, even though looking back, they probably should have been. But like, so when I'm watching like sports television, I do a daily show, so I like to kind of like not copy, but like kind of like imitate and like look up to daily sports talk shows. Like First Things First, occasionally First Take. There's a lot of good daily sports shows out there. And I like to look up there and see what they're talking about, right? And one of the things they talk about a lot that we don't do enough in this league is player legacies, because so much talk is about the GOAT. And while not every one of these players can probably become the GOAT, there are a few that like legacies would be built. So bear with me here, right? The first one we'll get to, Chris Origlieri. Chris Origlieri had a very good game against Vancouver, but that's like his first good game of the season. The San Diego Seals goalie obviously had a great year like 2 years ago, which seems like such a long time ago, because he has not been great ever since then. No one knows why. You throw in the fire fighting stuff, the scare to start the season. I say scare because we wanted the guy to play. I'm selfish. I wish you guys would stop burning down buildings so the guy could play. Well, apparently they were doing pretty well. I don't know when that's going to come back to bite us, but for now, we've avoided that situation. That being said, Rig finally had a good game. But the Seals are known for choking. Origlieri, can you get back to that pinnacle that you were at? Because I believe, wasn't the reason they went with Origlieri is because Chiliano, was supposedly known for choking? How many times is Joe Tsai going to give the Seals a nice roster and they're just not going to do anything with it? So Origlieri, you are part of the reason they haven't done anything since. Oh, jeez. No! Don't say it! I mean, he can't say it. I don't care. All right, but yeah, that's Origlieri, though. Well, let's bounce back, bro. You can start winning playoff games, and I know there's other things you have to go on, but as you'll learn later on this segment, I'm tired of hearing about excuses for goalies. I hear about, people in front of Landon Kells can't go. Guys, come on, man. Don't do that. If you're that guy, especially as a goalie, you're going to figure it out. Quarterbacks, if you're a week-to-week league, and there he is. There he is. Oh, this was also weird. God, that was wild. Whatever happened to Origlieri, that was crazy. He still played well, which makes that even crazier. But yeah, I did hear that. I was like, what in the world? Anyways, if we're going to do the whole quarterback thing, if goalies are the most important position, then they should be treated as such. And quarterbacks in the NFL also are at the mercy of their offensive line or their weapons or bad weather. All these things come into play. And I hate that sometimes context doesn't matter to people, but if you're a goalie, I don't care. At some point you have to overcome, and that's why Origlieri is so concerning right now, because the defense has been pretty good in transition too. Great goalies overcome. And we're not going to get to Landon Kells, but that's another thing. Is goalies are important and they have a higher standard than other players. Just the nature of the position, man. Next up, though, on Legacies on the line, Jeff Teets. I have been probably the most vocal and the most critical person of Jeff Teet publicly since I started the show. And it's not like it's for bad reason. We are told that Jeff Teet is one of, if not the most talented offensive player to ever live. So, Ottawa, they might make the playoffs. Let's hope they do. And I've also said that Jeff, last year, his assists weren't great. There's been a couple years where the turnovers were way up compared to everyone else. Now, he's playing both ends of the floor. His turnovers are down compared to what he's doing, and he's efficient. Now we're seeing Jeff Teet take the leap. I thought you guys said he already did when he entered the league. Sometimes high volume and high usage does not mean you're the best player. But now he's starting to get even better. It's scary for the league, by the way. But you've got it. We're going to hold these guys to high standards. Let's be consistent. Jeff Teet's been great this year. But Jeff, you might also win your first MVP. In fact, full disclosure, unless this week goes to the pot for Jeff Teets, I think when I come on the show next Tuesday, I've got Jeff Teets as my leader in the MVP race. Rob Hellier has been nice, but Batman finally has his Robin, and Batman is kicking butt out there. So Jeff Teets, let's step up, man. And by the way, if or when you do make the playoffs, show me. Let's lock in, and let's not. And I don't like these 3-quarter lulls, man. If Jeff Teet makes it to the playoffs with Ottawa this year, let's see a full awesome game. Let's see a couple of those games. And I'm not saying they can sneak in as an 8 and beat a 1 seed, but even if you lose, don't have 7 turnovers and 5 points. Let's be awesome. And I know you can. Everyone says you can. I've seen you this year play both ends. You've been awesome. Jeff Teet, legacy, not on the line, but let's make the step this year. 3 comments. There we go. I do like Timber Tigers. Are we changing that from like, because I guess they're, like before it was, what was the hashtag before? Go nuts. But anyways, it takes time for goalies. And I agree with that, but like the thing is, like, I don't like the larger. I don't know if you're going where you're going with that. Remember, Coach Reich, I do like the idea, like going back to the goalie thing. I think all ages should play have the same rules. Um, I think that also, like Caleb Kahn, like I didn't realize how, like, he's not just 18. He's like the youngest player in the league by, like, I think it's over a year, or like right above. It's crazy. I was looking at that yesterday. I'm like, good lord. But no, I think though, if you're awesome though, you're awesome. And like, it's not even just that, like, Landon Cowles, and not to pick on him all the time. It's not even about like Origlieri has been not good. Is that he was so awesome his first year starting. Like, what happened? Like, obviously, I don't know what's happening, but I hope he bounces back. But I think one day, like, just like quarterbacks are getting better at a younger age, same with the goalies. I don't know if Origlieri's part of that, but we'll see. Next up on the Legacies on the line, Connor Fields. See, I can be objective. Everyone knows I love Connor Fields. Like, the dude's awesome. Always picks up loose balls. Has not turned the ball over much this year. Actually, let me check that, because I talked about that, and then this week they lost to Toronto. I am curious how many turnovers he had after I said he only had like 5. He had 4. There you go. But he still had like 6 points and 10 loose balls. Regardless of all that, he's the reigning league MVP. So that being said, Connor Fields, your offense is stacked, bro. Like, and I know you get back on defense sometimes. I know you're an efficient player, but y'all got to step up. It ain't just the team getting pushed around. Connor Fields has been part of that mindset of, we're just high flying and please don't touch us. I feel like Rochester, starting with Connor Fields at the top, if they're more physical, they can make a run. And we like, no more letdowns, bro. And this is, again, not a shot at Fields. I just feel like if he sets the tone, which he has been doing, obviously, I feel like his legacy will only get better, because he is the leader of that snake. Just saying. I think loose ball, if you're an offensive player and you're like grabbing the loose balls, it's pretty stinking good. It's pretty awesome. Next up, Nick Rose. Rosie. Now, full disclosure, we know Nick Rose is out for a handful of weeks here. I get it. But if the Toronto Rock make the playoffs, guys, playoffs define legacies in every other sport. And not saying that Nick Rose has not been criticized, because he has been, especially by Toronto Rock fans. But goalies are like quarterbacks, like I said before. Like, goalies, so many things technically have to go right for you to be great, but fans are still going to call for your head. And that's the position you play. It's not fair sometimes, but Nick Rose, if you're healthy, are you going to perform in the playoffs? Because the Rock, it's not even just this year. They've had so many, and I mean so many teams that I said the Bandits had a silly roster years before. The Rock were right there with them, though, because they've got the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area. They've got that ability to bring in the recruits and to retain people. And Nick Rose has a job with the team outside of goalie, for crying out loud. So I believe Nick Rose, when you come back healthy at the end, towards the end of the year or towards the home stretch, if you guys make the playoffs, Nick Rose, don't let in the stupid stuff, man. I love what Nick Rose does for the game. I think he's awesome. But if you want to be noticed as one of the greatest goalies ever, you can't just stick around for a while and count a bunch of stats. Can you at least win a little bit? Come on, man. And the best part about this segment is there's only going to be one champion at the end of the year. It's great. Like, all right, Dylan Ward, another goalie here. We also have 3 more goalies after this, 2 more goalies after this. So Dylan Ward, last guy to beat Buffalo. A second ring for Dylan Ward in box would go crazy. I don't know how many rings he has in the PLL, if any, but he's also he's one of the best dual lacrosse athletes. He's up there with Blaze Reardon and Brett Dobson and Tom Schreiber, because Dylan Ward is a great field and a great box goalie. I told you guys last year when the team was 8-10, and he had a 79 save percentage, pretty good on a bad team. And then this year, he's showing you what he's capable of on a competitive team. I think Dylan Ward's been great, but I do think a second ring, aside from the Buffalo ring, I feel like he's going to climb up the ladder. He's always a great goalie, but why not have him go higher? Because he's capable of it in Legacy Talk. Next up, Matt Vince. Now you're like, what does Matt Vince have to gain? Well, it's more than he has to lose. Because the great thing about sports is once you hit age 38 and up, you're kind of playing with house money. You're not supposed to still be great. The fact you're still having longevity is awesome. And how many times is Matt Vince going to retire? And it's not even his fault. But media and fans oh, is this the last song? Wins another championship. So, Matt Vince right now has 6 rings. And not just 6 rings, but 2 three-peats with different teams. That's a 3-peat with a different team is ridiculous. So Matt Vince, already a legend. But if he gets a 7th ring at age 43, that would he's already crossing sports here. A 7th ring goes ridiculous. Guys, Michael Jordan has 6. Tom Brady's got 7. Bill Russell has 11. But in terms of star players on the best team, we're not going to count Robert Ory and people like that, but 11 rings is the pinnacle. But if Matt Vince gets another one than Michael Jordan, it's going to go crazy. Again, the separate three-peats are still incredible, but it feels like if this sport is going to continue to get more popular, which I hope so, then you get a 7th ring, which is, again, more than Michael Jordan. That's pretty impressive. That, forget box lacrosse, where do you rank in GOAT athletes? That's a real conversation we're going to have. We already have to have it with 6 rings, with 2 different three-peats. But 7 rings, sports media has got to consider him, even if they don't watch box lacrosse, he has to be mentioned in the breath. People who watch basketball and football still acknowledge Wayne Gretzky. Or for championships, people who watch football and not much basketball, they acknowledge Bill Russell has 11 and Jordan has 6. You give Matt Vince 7 with a 4-peat? Oh my gosh. Oh, and by the way, we'll also with Matt Vince legacy here. A 7th ring would also a lot of new fans. Let's say if there's an influx of fans at the end of the year, they're going to realize, oh my, this guy's 43. How good was he? And then here's us in our lazy Susan. Sit down, son. Let me tell you about Matt Vince. It's ridiculous. The guy, that's my grandpa look. Clip it. No, I feel like Matt Vince, it has some, as great as 6 is. Hey, Patrick, what's better than 6? 6, 7. Oh, cross reference with, I don't even know how I did that. I don't understand myself sometimes. Next, Christian Del Bianco. I have an uncomfortable conversation here because Del Bianco, I'll say it, best goalie in the league, right? And I know the Bandits have won the last 3. Dylan Ward won one before that. But man, Christian Del Bianco, as great as he is, And again, this guy's age, he's only 28. But that championship that he won with Calgary, with those veterans, in 2019, folks, that was 7 years ago. Like, Del Bianco has one ring. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but see, at what point are you like the Albany Firewolves when you go there and it's like, oh, you're not going back? And again, it's not his fault. He's been awesome. But another little caveat, and again, it's not to knock the guy. And I think Del Bianco might admit this, probably, if you had him off the record, maybe. He wanted to go, he demanded he went to Vancouver. Had to have it. Would not play for Calgary. Guys, Calgary still has a team. Del Bianco had to go play with Vancouver. What if they don't get it done this year? What if they don't get it done next year? Part of that move by getting out of Calgary is you have to acknowledge it's going to be held against you in a GOAT conversation. I'm just saying, it has to be said. Like, this reminds me of like when I said Dane Smith had lost 2 or 3 finals. Oh, you hater. Am I though? Because if you're not winning, like I love when they make it, don't get me wrong, but the same argument and I love LeBron James, but they say, oh, he's 4-6. He lost 6 times. Like, and I got crucified for saying Dane Smith was like 0-2 or 0-3. Like, I'm sorry. No one said that before me. Come on, man. And then Del Bianco. Again, part of your legacy right now, 1 ring in Calgary with the Vets, and then you have to go to Vancouver. To be fair, this is his first full year in Vancouver. His story's being written. But if they don't win, tough conversations and GOAT talk, like if you're going to be compared to the greats, that's held against you. I mean, COVID was tough for everybody, not just Christian Del Bianco. Just saying. Next up, Alex Simmons, and this segment's going over. I don't care. I love this talk. Alex Simmons was the number 1 guy on a team of babies. It reminds me of like when Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook led the Thunder, and then nothing happened. Like they lost to Miami, and then the team basically unfolded despite having a really good roster. I know Kevin Durant was part of being a snake for that. But Alex Simmons, once again, your team is 2-5. And now Dawson Theede comes in the picture, which I'm going to get to in the next segment. How are you going to respond? And Alex Simmons has been great this year. But Alex Simmons has been on the post-game press conference saying that they're still learning. So first year is like, he's not saying it's an excuse, but he kind of acknowledged that, like, yeah, we're young and we're like trying to adapt to what other people adapted to us. So now, just saying, man, and I love Alex Simmons. His charisma alone in interviews is great. He plays with passion, plays with fire, has been the best player for Oshawa this year, maybe alongside Doug Jamieson. But that being said, Simmer, that honeymoon phase is almost over. You can't keep losing. Inspire your team if you have to. I'm just saying, kind of like Hunter Fields, like, you guys are playing great, but like, legacy talk. It's tough conversations. Next up, Dane Smith. We're going back to Dane Smith here. I already talked about it earlier. I think I was the first one to say he was 0-3. Like, my bad. Like, that happens. Just saying. I'm curious if Dane, like, when does Dane enter the GOAT conversation? I'm not saying he's not already there, but Dane Smith right now has that three-peat, but doesn't he only have, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, But doesn't he only have like one finals MVP? Because Ian McKay got it last year. I could be wrong. I feel like Josh Byrne got one. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But Dane Smith has a chance to also, like Matt Vince, win 4 in a row here. And like among the best like forwards of all time in the NLL, a 4-peat and another finals MVP would do dummy things to Dane Smith's resume. And just another finals appearance would be great. And by the way, I know it's a little bit too early for this. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Dane Smith. When Matt Vince does retire in the next year or two, how does this team look? Because Matt Vince, I'm not saying he saved them, but when you have the greatest goalie to ever live, you kind of have to start wondering if it's Evan Konstantinopoulos or whoever. Dane, how are we going to look? Are we still going to be competitive? And not just competitive, the Buffalo Bills, just like Sean McDermott getting fired by the Bills. Like, it's no longer just competitive. And to be fair, the Bandits have actually won. It's now like your standard is so high, you have got to perform post Matt Vince. Now, another thing, it's kind of like Oshawa. Like, you guys were so good so early. That's why it's such a letdown having a losing record to start each of the last 2 seasons. Like, what's going on here? Like, we added more and got worse. Come on, man. But yeah, Dane could do crazy things with his resume if he wins the 4th title and gets the finals MVP. I'm like, come on. That's incredible. Next up, I'll give you guys a 3-piece here. A trinity of players, if you will, because I don't know which of these guys to pinpoint this on. Now let's comment real quick. If you're entering a semi-pro sport, you should be needing interesting. They moved to the Buffalo at the end of the year. I mean, I've heard a lot of like different goalies going to Buffalo. I thought Dane Moot had a great audition for Las Vegas, like the way he played. I'm just 48 saves. Hey, guys, in case Lyndon Kells wets the bet again, and you guys don't want to use Caleb Kahn, I'm just saying, like, just different. We'll do that for another day. Now, the trinity of players I got to get to here. Legacies on the line. They're young, so don't worry. Brandon O'Neill, CJ Kirst, and Jack Hanna. What do these 3 players have in common? They're freaks in the field game. They do things very few people on the planet can do, if not anymore. All right? Are you, like, the Bucs game offers 2 things that are different than field. They're like vastly different. Number 1, first and foremost, the physicality. It looks like Jack, CJ, and Brennan are okay with the physical game. Good, check 1. Number 2, are you quick thinking enough? Guys, I love, and I cannot stress enough how much I love Brandon O'Neill. I was watching that Las Vegas game back literally this morning at like 2 a.m. I wasn't very tired. Like, I was feeling fine. So I wasn't like, oh, what is that? I was watching the game. You got to be quick thinking in box. Like, it's not just physical. It's not just freak athleticism. You got to, like, be quick. And I'm curious. These guys who grew up I know CJ Kirst has been playing with the Kirst brothers. That is another animal. I feel like Brandon O'Neill and Jack Hanna are going to have to figure out a way to outsmart the defense, because you can out-freak athleticism them. You can also out-physical them. Can you outsmart them? That's different. And I don't play sports, but from the outside looking in, when I'm looking in the arena from my little TV box, I'm like, oh, you got to be a little bit more quicker there, Brennan. Just saying. It's also the defense helps. I get it, but I'm just saying. So the reason I say that for those 3 players, if there is a huge rise in NLL popularity, which one of you, if not all three, tell the fans, hey, I got next. And while you're here, I'll be your favorite player for the next 15 years. That's a great legacy to have. So, Brian O'Neill, CJ Kirsch, Jack Hanna, it's up to you. They're going to be fine, but when you're doing legacy talk, I had fun with that segment. We're a little bit long. Yeah, Dyson Williams, man. I'll leave that one alone for now, but I feel like, woo. Well, let's talk about that in a minute. We'll be right back because Dawson Theede got traded, and we're also going to touch on Stephen Keogh, which is another interesting facet of this. But when I come back, has Dawson Theede made Oshawa not just good again, but a contender? Because you don't make a move like that without hoping that's a thing. And did Halifax punt on the season, or what's going on there? I'll break it down from an analyst perspective. It's what I do. You're watching. I don't know why I pointed to myself. You're watching Daily Dive. We'll be right back, folks. And stay tuned for narrative in the last segment.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
BetUS and North American Talk Radio have partnered to bring you the preferred betting platform in the United States, and you will get a deposit bonus of up to 150% if you use promo code 120Z. Take it from me, I'm a cowboy and a gambler. I wrangle my bets on BetUS, and I use the promo code 120Z to get free money. Yee-haw! That's BetUS and promo code 120Z. Now giddy up.
Welcome back to Daily Dive, the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talks from the plants. I'm your host, Michael Karvelis, on this Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. I just talked about player legacies. Had 12 of them. That took me a while there, but we had fun with that one. Like let's make this sport like other sports and talk about the fun stuff. Like Barber Chef. If you like where that came from, I'm creating the narrative for week 9 in our final segment coming up in a little bit. But for now, we're going to talk about Dawson Theede being traded. And don't you worry, there's merchandise for this league that is available. Head over to natalkradio.us/NLL to check out hoodies, player name shirts, t-shirts in general for your favorite team, or other great things to come. The NLL has not even officially announced this. It's clearly a soft launch, so why don't you be one of the first to grab and represent your favorite players and team? I love that that's a thing now, for the record. Okay, composure. All right, so Dawson Theede, big body, got traded to Oshawa. First reported by Loose Mesh. Guys, I'm going to be honest. Wow. Like, it was getting sticky. It was getting sticky in Halifax, and I'm not going to, I know Halifax is not going to say, well, we got tired of losing and being a bunch of grumps, and so they're not going to say it out loud. But you can't convince me that Dawson Theede, his antics were not kind of pissing him off a little bit over there, all right? I don't know I don't think when you act like that on the field, I don't think that's just, oh, poor guy, he made a mistake. Bull crap. I don't believe that. I feel like something is smelly in Halifax. I don't know what it is, but like from the outside, I'm an analyst. I don't. I told people this before. I don't care for reporting in the grand scheme of things. I like analyzing and seeing, watching and reporting, and like talking about what I see. Like, this is the barbershop right now. This is social media in a talk show, right? So when I see that happening, it's like, man, like, can y'all get it together? But what's going on inside the locker? I don't know. I hope they like each other. And speaking of liking each other, for the record, I hope that Andrew Kidd and Dawson Theede are just fine. Because, woo! That stunt that he pulled at the end of the Oshawa game, not a fan of that. I don't think Andrew Kidd was either. But I'm sure bygones mean bygones here. I mean, it's interesting. Kavanaugh, that's another one. CLL said O'Neal's change up on that shot a few weeks ago is proof he knows what he's doing. Ooh, I like it. I agree with that, by the way. So let's, like, Dawson Theede, like, couple of questions right off the bat here, because it has to be talked about. Is Oshawa instantly a contender? Folks, I've been biased. I get it. I think Oshawa/Albany has been a fun team with Alex Simmons, Ty Kurtz. I hope to God Dyson Williams finds. Well, you know what's funny about Dyson Williams? Dawson Theede is a lefty. I think Dyson might have a lot more room to shoot now, because Dawson, I feel like there was too many. I said this before. There were too many big bodies in Halifax. Like, it's as great as you guys are, it's hard to get off the floor. So, and we're going to touch on Halifax in just a minute and finish that thought up. But how Oshawa needed to get physical. Like, when they got rid of Nathan Grennan, I still think that was a dumb move. I wish he would go back to that team. I don't know why he won't. But you need water bugs. Like, Buffalo has been great with guys like Kyle Buchanan and Chase Frazier when he was there. You need those kind of guys to just get inside and free up some space. And guess what? They can score too. Now, I don't know how much Dawson Theede scores on this team right away. And I'm not saying he's as, I don't want to say bad, he's a caliber of player that Eric Fennell is. But I feel like Dyson, based on draft hype, is supposed to be better than Dawson Theede. Like, can we agree on that? I feel like we should there. So Dawson Theede is going to be that bruiser. He'll get his own because he's a veteran at this point. And then Dyson will have free range. It will also open up the other side with Alex Simmons, Ty Kurtz, Taggart Clark. I wonder if Taggart Clark and Ethan Walker, certain shifts, are not going to get as much touches as they used to. Obviously, they probably won't. I think this is a great move for Oshawa. I really do. I think it's almost like a perfect fit. Like, I'm trying to think like another player that would have like made sense like immediately. And that's a great move by Glenn Clark. I don't know about trading with the team that you just called out in a press conference. Seems a little bit weird. But I mean, we're going to roll with it here. Like, I think if Oshawa's going to make a run, I now feel confident they can. I love it for them. Let's switch over to Halifax. Okay. You get rid of a guy who, I said it before, a little bit frustrating because he was contributing with the penalties. He's 30 on your team in points with 21. Third on your team with goals with 11. He's played well this year. 29 loose balls. And he did lead your team in penalty minutes. That was all from like one game. But like, my thing is with this, Halifax reminds me of a really good version of Georgia right now. Obviously, they've got more firepower than Georgia. But like, it feels like a team that's competitive, has a bunch of young guys, and they're still going to like try to win. I do think Halifax getting swept by Saskatchewan was a tough look and a tough pill for them to swallow. But now, like, Will McLeod Mike Robinson and Jason Knox are going to have so many opportunities to showcase what they can do. Will McLeod is going to have a longer leash, and I believe fully in Jason Knox because I remember when he was with Panther City, the guy just made good plays and scored goals. So I think Jason Knox will step forward. I think Will McLeod is going to, like we've already saw he can score 4 goals in a game in his first game ever. So it's not like he's incapable of playing that well again this year. I'm interested to see what Halifax does. I think they can definitely. I don't know if this makes them better, and I also know they added Stephen Keogh. I remember watching Keogh with the Riptide, and I just see Thumb Green is always gonna touch me. So Keogh was a guy who's quick. Like I know he's 38 now. He can get off the floor when he needs to. He can muck it up inside. He can also score some pretty like circus type goals. Like before Chase Fraser was awesome, and I know Chase Fraser was always a sicko, but before Chase Fraser really took off, Stephen Keogh made some pretty impressive circus shots. So I do like that part of it for Halifax. Like Keogh, he's going to be behind, obviously, Randy Stotts, and who? Let me see here. Like he's going to be behind Randy Stotts and Clark Peterson, and hopefully when Hogarth comes back at the end of the year, Brendan Bomberry. I don't know what he's doing at this point, even though one website has him listed as defensive transition, another website still has him as his traditional forward spot. But I think Keogh is going to might make some immediate impact on this team. Because again, when you unload Dawson Theede, you not only unload a hothead, and that's good for us when they acquired him, but you unload a guy who is a little bit too physical sometimes, and it was a little bit getting off the floor, and now you're relying on a quick-footed Stephen Keogh, Will McLeod, who's athletic, Jason Knox, and Mike Robinson. Their reverse transition, if anything, should be improved. I like this for both teams. Now, one other thing I have to get to before I move on, because this did not pass me by. Micah Kersey, really? Or, okay, that was a bad. He's not the one I'm going to call out here. Kurt Stiers. A 2028 first. Really, dude? Really? I know the next couple of drafts are stacked up. Really? That's all you got for. Really? Come on, man. I don't care what logistics went into that. You couldn't get anything else for Dawson. Come on, man. Not only is the draft pick not in the next 2 drafts, it feels like 10 years from now. Come on, man. I think you could have gotten a little bit more back. Dawson Theede, like in his career, let's get to it. I tweeted this out, but just like what this guy's capable of. And you know Oshawa wanted that guy. So it's not even just that Dawson Theede's good. It's that Oshawa wanted him so badly. Like, they were probably looking at Tanner Cook and others, and they got Dawson Theede. And, like, first, really? Come on, man. He scored 30 goals in back-to-back years. Not too shabby, I'd say. So, I don't know, man. I feel like Glenn Clark fleeced him. I could be wrong, and it feels like that. On the comments here. Whoa. I wonder, like, again, like, Lyle Thompson is also, like, kind of tied to George as well. I've heard from different stuff. That would be interesting. Yeah, again, like, you got to spend more money or more on first-round picks. I mean, the 2028 first helps. I don't know. Halifax needs to start mixing up the lines and plays, this copy and paste from game to game. I've seen that said, yeah. It's unlikely, but is Keogh been playing? I don't know. That's interesting. And that's another thing. This is another thing. And that's why I said what I said earlier. Oh, again, like, do we know, like, why? Because it goes to, like, the last point I'll make here about the price being paid. This is all speculation and just kind of like from the couch going like, as I eat my Cheetos, like, that ain't right. It seems weird. So what seems weird is why they let him go for what seems like a cheap price. I would assume there's no way Halifax did this. There's no way, right? Like, if they did, I'll be honest right now. We'll call this mug a panic button. If Halifax initiated this trade, bam! Because not only did they get swept by Saskatchewan, and part of that was because of penalties, they then got stomped by Oshawa, partly because of Theede. Oh. That crossed my mind. And the more I think about it, it's conversations that only Daily Dive's going to have. How's that? That's a good question. It really is. I need to do some research. MJG, like, you really got me. You got my mind twisting. I like it. Good stuff. All right, folks, when we come back, there's only 4 games this weekend, but let's create a narrative. What are folks on social media going to be talking about for the games? I'm glad you asked. That segment is going to wrap us up next. You're watching Daily Dive on North American Talk Radio's YouTube channel.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening. You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive. I am your host, Michael Karvelis. You are watching the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. Earlier, I talked about Legacies on the Line, which will definitely be uploaded to our YouTube channel as its own segment. It's been like 20 minutes. I had fun with that too. Let's bring more like goat talking. I think it's a fun thing to talk about. It's a good debate every time. Dawson Theede, I think, is a perfect move for Halifax and Oshawa, even though Oshawa kind of fleeced them. 2020 first rounder for a guy that scores 30 goals easily. Come on, bro. What are we doing? But I think it's a great fit for both teams. I think addition by subtraction actually helps Halifax there. So there you go. Thanks for the comments so far. We're about to create the narrative for week number 9. Before we do that, since you're on YouTube watching, there are products that you can check out. I have to do this because YouTube swears like they're going to remove these products from the stream if I don't. So, got a Lego set there from Target, a Connor McDavid Edmonton Oilers alternate jersey. That thing is sweet looking, by the way. Hey, Edmonton. Nintendo Switch 2 from Macy's. A Warrior Fat Boy? Come on. That's a box lacrosse helmet from Dick's Sporting Goods. What did he say? A Dell 2-in-1 touchscreen laptop with Intel Core, by the way. I don't know what that means. Like they're operating. But what does that mean? I don't ever. Whatever. It's like Apple Intelligence. What does that mean? All right, and a blow pop T-shirt from 80stees.com. That's some great stuff. All right, enough. They're not even paying us. I mean, if you click on and pay for it, they will. But come on, man. What are we doing? Hey, he's back. For what it's worth, Theede has looked frustrated. I was wondering. All right, creating the narrative for week 9. Oh, if you want merch, bam, NLTalkRadio.us/NLL. All right, so 4 games this weekend, no big deal. What are fans going to be talking about when it's all said and done? Let's create a narrative right now. Barbershop. All right, San Diego and Philadelphia to kick things off, to face things off. I should start saying that more. To face things off on Friday, tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern. San Diego. It's not a must-win, but if you have like any chance of being good, Origlieri has back-to-back great games like he did against Vancouver. He's going to have another great game this time, and you're going to win. I love the Wings. I think they have a lot of my favorite players. They stink. So, San Diego, finish them. And if you don't, do you suck? All right. That's stupid. All right, next up, Vancouver and Ottawa. Black Bears was the worst. You know what's funny? Like, there's another game on the list where, like, I feel like a lot, like, people are, like, super high on one team. Guys, Vancouver, Ottawa, let me check these stats real quick. Buffalo Sports Collective does a pick 'em. 62% are picking the Black Bears. Like, chrome to your dome before the season started. Did you think that was going to happen? That's why I'm curious. Like, Vancouver's on fraud watch, according to Captain. What time is it? Time for y'all to get a watch and get a win. And then it's like Ottawa, as big as the Buffalo game was, now that you've beaten Buffalo, this is now Ottawa's game of the year so far. Like, this is it. Like, coming back in Saskatchewan was cute, considering they're 6-1 and you were their loss. And then last week against Buffalo, but Vancouver just got beat. So they're waking up like, whoa. And Michael saying Del Bianco's chip is too long ago. Captain saying we're on fraud watch. Come on. Is Vancouver going to walk into Ottawa and finally get a statement game? Folks, for the sake of my power rankings, Del Bianco, Curtis Dixon, y'all better hope so. All right. Saturday. Oh, TSN has that game, by the way. Georgia Swarm at Toronto Rock. 7 o'clock Eastern. Nice start time here because the next game's at 9. I do wonder, one, is Lyle Thompson officially back? Like, he played great in Edmonton. But can you do it again? And I know Troy Holochuk is a serviceable backup goalie. Could even be the future. I don't know. He's not Nick Rose. Lyle Thompson and company, can you beat them? 58% of Buffalo Sports Collective said Georgia, in case you're wondering. Also, the team that wins this game, it feels like they're pulling ahead of the middle pack. Like, there's like, right now, the Ottawa's still in there. Halifax has kind of entered that chat. Oshawa, because of me. San Diego, Las Vegas, technically. Georgia, Toronto. Like, there's about like 6 or 7 teams that are like, oh, how good are they? Are they playoff teams? The winner of this game feels like they're like distancing themselves from those weirdos, right? Like, no one wants to be in the middle of the pack. All right, finally, 9 o'clock Eastern Saturday, Oshawa, Colorado. Firewolves in the Mammoth. I think Dawson Theede will play, it looks like. If San Diego doesn't win against Philly, do they still be It's rough, man. San Diego doesn't make playoffs. Yeah. Like Patrick Merrill. People call for Matt Sawyer. Patrick Merrill is right there. And I love Patrick Merrill, but come on, man. All right, finally, Oshawa, Colorado. The long-awaited Oshawa turnaround. And this is not a credit to loading, but is the turnaround loading? Oh, my. I have been calling for this since last year when they started 2-8. They're 2-5 right now. And so many people are on the hype train of Colorado. Yeah, we beat Rochester. Yeah, we ended Halifax, right? You also split with Georgia, for the record. And that Vancouver win was not even good at this point. Like, honest question. I think it is. But Colorado, you are the talk of the town. The power rankings, everyone moved you up. Like elevated truck and crane, everyone needs a raise. You took the Viagra, you're raising up. Come on, man. Are you that good? Prove it. Like if not, back down the ladder. I mean, like power rankings are, I know like everyone's got them, but like if they're gonna they're like on ice right now. And if they lose this game to Oshawa, woo! It's like, come up, I might as well just dive down. You might as well jump into the pool for them. Peace. Bam. Splash. That's enough. Thanks so much for watching today's show, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. I had fun with this show today. So we'll see Tim Dillon hopefully next week. But yeah. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. I don't even know if that's possible. Has anyone in the history of Thursdays ever said, man, that was a great day? It's Thursday. It's not hump day. It's not Friday. It's some crappy day we gave to Thor. Give me a break. I don't even know that's true. Bye, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.